The CEO's wife never dreamed that the very next day after we got married, I had already prepared 2 copies of a divorce agreement. Yet, she wasn't angry at all. Instead, she happily signed it, and with a look of absolute certainty, she swore, "In this life, I will only love you. If you ever find out I betray you, then the divorce agreement will be your guarantee." But what she never expected was, the next day, I took the agreement to the Civil Affairs Bureau, then boarded a plane and went abroad. On the very day I married Sia Zixuan, a line of bullet comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. They were like maggots clinging to bone, constantly reminding me that I was just a supporting male character, while Sia Zixuan loved someone else. Of course, I didn't believe it at first. I thought it was just my own delusion. But reality was like a cruel slap striking me directly. On our anniversary, she broke our date. A comment appeared. "She's vacationing at the beach with the male lead. They're so intimate, not a gap between them. The trip she had planned with me, she refused." A comment appeared. "She's having a romantic candlelight dinner with the male lead, sweet and affectionate, lost in passion, inseparable. Deception after deception, like a blunt knife, slowly tearing at my heart." 2 months passed, enough for a deeply loving heart to turn completely cold. Where I couldn't see, she was gentle, entangled with another man. In front of me, she was still tender, deeply in love. This false tenderness was even sharper than a knife, causing me pain to the bone, to the heart. In the silent night, only I remained, alone, staring blankly at the cold ceiling. Finally, I understood. Oaths of eternal love are merely the most fragile things in this world, shattering at a touch, leaving no trace behind. The divorce agreement was already prepared. I dropped the envelope into the mailbox, as if burying all the past. I received an encrypted phone call. "Mr. Fu, have you thought it through? Once you agree to go abroad to participate in the scientific research project for the next 3 years, you are not allowed to contact family members in any way. Do you accept this condition?" My voice was a bit hoarse. "After the 3-year term expires, can I apply for an extension?" The other end of the line was slightly stunned, then quickly replied, "Of course. All right, then I agree to go abroad." I gritted my teeth, as if I had just made a monumental decision. "Your departure procedures will be completed within half a month. Goodbye." The voice on the other end hung up immediately after finishing. After hanging up, I had already booked my flight abroad. At this very moment, the bullet comments in the air suddenly appeared. A string of question marks flashed. The supporting male character wants to leave? What kind of act is this now? Trying to get the female lead's attention? Oh, supporting male character, please stop. Just be his tool already, can't you? Always snatching the female lead's attention. Late at night, Xia Zixuan returned. She still maintained that elegant and noble appearance, but in front of me, she shed her disguise. Quickly stepping forward, she embraced me tightly, her voice full of playful affection. "I'm sorry, my love. The company has been so busy lately, I couldn't be with you much. Tomorrow is your birthday. I'll personally cook for my darling husband. The most romantic birthday dinner, okay?" She always liked to cook for me. A female CEO personally cooking soup for her beloved husband, in many people's eyes, this was an admirable thing. Oh, female lead, I'm almost in tears, because the male lead said he likes women who can cook. She diligently practiced cooking. What a pity for the supporting male character. He actually took the male lead's place, eating so many loving meals cooked by the female lead. I stood there stunned, held tightly by her, but feeling no warmth at all. Only an ice-cold chill spread from the depths of my heart. My gaze fell below the collar of the acting Xia Zixuan. It was covered in dense pink hickeys, looking very fresh, like blooming peach blossoms, extremely dazzling, mocking my foolishness and naivety. Was it truly work that kept her so busy, or was she enjoying herself in another man's arms? My heart felt as if an invisible hand was squeezing it. I could barely breathe. "Darling, all of tomorrow is ours. You're very happy, aren't you?" Xia Zixuan asked gently. My heart was as still as stagnant water. I felt no joy at all. I told her in a calm tone, "I've sent you a time capsule gift. It will arrive in half a month. We used to always use time capsules to leave each other gifts belonging to the future. It was a testament to our love and our longing for the future." Xia Zixuan was extremely surprised. She quickly asked, "What kind of gift is it, my love?" The corners of my lips curved slightly, but the smile didn't reach my eyes. I said, "You'll know when the time comes." It was a surprise I had meticulously prepared, enough for her to remember for a lifetime. Xia Zixuan hugged me, her face full of affection. She said, "Darling, it seems I love you even more now. We must be together forever, in this life and the next." Those 4 words, this life and the next, sounded so ironic. Xia Zixuan, you've long lost me. I held Xia Zixuan through a dreamless night. Perhaps for her, this was just an ordinary night of passion. But for me, it was torment. When morning came, Xia Zixuan gently placed a kiss on my forehead. "Honey, shall we go grocery shopping? Buy all your favorite foods. The fridge at home is empty." Then she continued, "And get some more snacks and fruits you like. I want to fill the fridge for my darling husband. Completely full. Actually, I didn't want to go to the supermarket at all." Just as I was about to refuse, Xia Zixuan, without another word, grabbed my coat and took my hand out the door. As soon as we arrived at the supermarket, if my gaze lingered on any item for more than a second, Xia Zixuan would immediately put it into the shopping cart so that I could eat the freshly baked durian cake. Xia Zixuan didn't even care about her image. She squeezed among a crowd of aunties to queue. Finally, carrying the freshly baked cake, she presented it to me as if it were a treasure. Honey, hurry and taste it. If I showed even a hint of tiredness, Xia Zixuan would let me sit in the shopping cart, coaxing me gently as if I were a child. Her thoughtful actions immediately attracted the attention of many passersby around us. Ah, that young couple is so sweet. That's right. The female lead not only has a good figure, but also high beauty, and she's so considerate. Her husband is so lucky, handsome boy and pretty girl. May you two be happy forever. Someone couldn't help but bless us. Xia Zixuan wrapped her arm around my waist, smiled and nodded. Thank you. We will definitely be happy our whole lives. Then she turned her head, gently whispering in my ear. My love. Look, everyone knows I love you. It's so wonderful. But she didn't realize at all that I remained silent, never responding. When we reached the snack section, Xia Zixuan glanced at her phone, suddenly saying, Honey, I'm going to the restroom for a bit. I'll be right back. I glanced and saw a blowing kiss emoji flashed and then disappeared. Was she really going to the restroom? Or was she thinking of that other man again? I curled my lower lip mockingly and nonchalantly nodded. Okay. As soon as Xia Zixuan left, the bullet comments before my eyes suddenly scrolled frantically. This supermarket is the female lead's birthday gift to the male lead. The female lead is so naughty, daring to bring the supporting male character here to shop. The male lead is jealous, as expected. He's waiting for the female lead to coax him. Oh my god, the classic scene is finally about to happen. To make the male lead happy, the female lead directly uses her mouth. The scene is too beautiful. I dare not imagine it. My heart suddenly sank. My footsteps involuntarily headed towards the restroom. Reaching the restroom door, a string of ambiguous, suppressed sounds leaked from the crack of the door. He's already like this from just one touch. You enchanting little devil? I really want to punish you hard. It was Xia Zixuan's voice and the panting of another man. I gritted my teeth tightly, my fingertips digging deep into my palm, my fingernails almost piercing my skin. I suddenly realized why Xia Zixuan wanted to bring me to this supermarket. I just felt utterly disgusted. Everything in the shopping cart seemed to become filthy too. I turned my back and walked away, without any hesitation. Back home, as soon as I sat down, my phone rang. It was Xia Zixuan calling. Honey, there's something urgent at the company. I have to go. I've already called a car for you. You go home first, okay? I'll definitely make it up to you later. Her voice was very hurried. She hung up before I could say anything. Wow, the female lead and male lead went straight to rent a room, kissing passionately all the way. The battle is fierce. Looking at the bullet comments before my eyes, I only felt extreme irony. This woman, on one hand, said she loved me. On the other hand, she was intimate with another man. The love she spoke of was truly cheap and false. I flipped through our old memories, the love letters Xia Zixuan wrote to me with naive, clumsy handwriting, but contained a young girl's sincere love. To make me happy, she almost lost her life to retrieve from the bottom of the sea a pink pearl. Now, they were covered in a layer of gloomy light. The crooked stitches, the scarf hand-knitted by Xia Zixuan, every shared photo symbolizing happiness and intimacy. The raging flames licked at the photos. In the photos, the boy's smile was bright and radiant. In her frame, filled with happiness, that was the eternity I once envisioned. Now the photo frame shattered, splitting the boy's innocent face, and also severing my 7 years of infatuated delusion. Since I had decided to leave, then I should clean up everything completely. Every item imbued with memories was resolutely thrown into the fire basin by me. Things Xia Zixuan made with her own hands, wrote with her own hands, gave with her own hands, everything turned to ashes in the fierce blaze. I left Xia Zixuan no lingering attachment, nor did I leave myself any room for illusion. At the same time, Xia Zixuan was hugging Yang Taiwei. Her heart suddenly throbbed with an inexplicable pain. She unconsciously placed her hand on her chest. Yang Taiwei leaned in to kiss her again. His hot lips immediately dissolved that strange feeling. The two passionately, ambiguously intertwined. At the moment Xia Zixuan was most enchanted, I threw the last diamond ring, symbolizing an eternal heart, into the fire bin. The firelight illuminated my face. Without a hint of lingering attachment, I turned and went back to my room. Xia Zixuan, I wish you joy in chasing your happiness. It's time for us to end things. I was woken by my phone. The woman's gentle voice came through the receiver like sugar-coated poison. Honey, wake up! Put on your most handsome suit. Come downstairs. I have a surprise for you. I walked to the window. On the lawn downstairs, gift boxes and fresh flowers were arranged, bound into various romantic shapes, causing quite a few passers-by to stop, watch, and take photos. On the other end of the phone, Xia Zixuan's voice carried a hint of apology. Honey, I'm sorry. Yesterday, the company was too busy. I couldn't come home early to be with you, and I couldn't make you a birthday dinner with your favorite dishes. It's all my fault. Today, I'll definitely make it up to you properly. Come downstairs quickly. Look at all the birthday gifts I've prepared for you. I clenched the phone tightly, my knuckles white from the force. Make it up? Use these fake gifts to compensate for her sin of being intimate with another man last night? I took a deep breath, telling myself that in just half a month, I could completely leave this woman. No need to be entangled with her anymore. I changed into a simple tracksuit and walked out of the villa. Sia Zixuan was still wearing yesterday's outfit, standing before me with a radiant smile. Darling, yesterday I broke my promise. This is my sincerity. She opened an exquisite jewelry box. Inside was a sparkling diamond watch, shining brilliantly under the sun. This is my darling husband's one-year birthday gift. Next, she took out the second item, the third item. Each custom-made jewelry set sparkled dazzlingly. Each limited edition item was priceless. As if by magic, they appeared endlessly. This is my darling husband's 2-year birthday gift. 3 years old, 4 years old. Her eyes were constantly fixed on me, burning and devout, as if I were the most precious treasure in this world. The last gift was an orange-blue Maserati, wrapped as a giant gift box, silently parked by the roadside. 18 gifts symbolizing the 18 years we had never known each other, and also symbolizing Sia Zixuan's sincerity at this moment. Passers-by around us gasped in envious awe. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Mr. Fu must have saved the Milky Way in his past life to be able to meet Mrs. Jia, who loves him so much in this life. This is truly a fairy tale love. That's right. 18 birthday gifts. What kind of celestial love is this? The bullet comments always kept me sober. These things should belong to the male lead. This homewrecker is so shameless. On the bright side, the female lead is just practicing on the supporting male character right now, so she can take better care of the male lead later. She's so thoughtful. The supporting male character doesn't deserve these things. Everything should be returned to the male lead. Houses, cars, diamond rings, everything. My gaze swept past the angry comments and fell upon Sia Zixuan. That blue jade necklace, its clear luster, yet deep and understated. It really suited her, but also felt incredibly unfamiliar. It wasn't the necklace she wore when she went out yesterday. Sia Zixuan's necklace, from its style to its color, was chosen by me personally. She used to cling to me childishly, insisting it had to be a necklace I personally chose for her to wear. Saying that way, I would always be by her side. I carefully searched my memories, but couldn't find any trace of this necklace. A bullet comment flashed before my eyes, dazzling fresh red. This necklace was given by the male lead. He spent a long time choosing it. Truly heartfelt. No wonder Sia Zixuan wants to wear it. Noticing my gaze, Sia Zixuan immediately explained, her tone as natural as if she had practiced hundreds of thousands of times. Yesterday I accidentally broke my necklace, so I'm temporarily wearing another one. It wasn't chosen by you, honey, so I don't like it at all, she said, then made to take it off. It's quite pretty, you can keep wearing it. I smiled, but the smile didn't reach my eyes. Sia Zixuan's heart skipped a beat. An indescribable unease rose within her. Honey, what's wrong? She stepped forward and hugged me, gently coaxing. I've given you too many gifts. You don't need to give me so many anymore. My tone remained calm, so calm it made Sia Zixuan feel scared. Sia Zixuan's expression suddenly changed. Panic was evident on her face. Her voice deepened. Darling, what do you mean by that? Do you not want me anymore? Did I do something wrong? Tell me, can I fix it? No, it's just that there's no more room at home. I gently patted her arm to comfort her. Drawing closer, the scent of cologne, both familiar and strange, became even stronger. I was momentarily stunned. Before, Sia Zixuan loved to give me this type of cologne. Until I couldn't help but say I didn't like it, she sadly took it away. At that time, I thought Sia Zixuan was heartbroken because the gift was rejected. Now it seems I was just the male lead's replacement, a cheap shadow. My stomach churned with nausea. I subtly withdrew from Sia Zixuan's embrace. Sia Zixuan noticed the distance in my eyes. Her heart became even more frantic. Honey, are you still mad at me? I shook my head, my tone somewhat indifferent. No. Sia Zixuan clearly didn't believe me. She immediately ordered her assistant to buy my favorite foods, tied on an apron, and personally cooked a table of delicious dishes. Sweet and sour pork ribs, spicy crab, steamed sea fish, all rich in aroma, color, and taste. Not a single dish wasn't my favorite. Try this. I remember you like this the most. Sia Zixuan enthusiastically placed a piece of sweet and sour pork rib into my bowl. Before, I would have eaten it all without hesitation, even playfully asking her for another piece. But now, I felt that piece of rib was like a sugar-coated stone, heavy, weighing on my heart, making it hard for me to swallow. Just thinking that she learned to cook because of another man, my stomach immediately churned. I'm not very hungry. You eat it yourself. I stood up, intending to go back to my room. Sia Zixuan's phone suddenly lit up. She took one look and quickly turned off the screen, but the phone persistently lit up again. Immediately after the phone rang, Sia Zixuan still didn't answer. Instead, she silenced it and completely turned off her phone. She turned around, looked at me with a face full of affection and said, Darling, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm just staying with you. You are my only one. I lowered my eyes. You don't need to stay with me. Go do your work. Sia Zixuan tightly gripped my hand, her face tense. She said, Darling, I already told you, I will always put you first. I couldn't escape her grasp. The feeling of hunger yet being unable to eat made me extremely miserable. So I prepared to go back to the bedroom. Back in the bedroom, I lay on the bed but wasn't sleepy at all. I closed my eyes, pretending to sleep. A moment later, I felt Sia Zixuan carefully withdraw her hand, got up and left the room. I closed my eyes, the corner of my mouth curving into a cold smile. I sat up, looking at the live bullet comments about their sweetness. The male lead accidentally cut his hand while slicing vegetables. The female lead is so heartbroken, she personally cooked a more lavish dinner for the male lead, all his favorite dishes. This dinner spread is much more extravagant than the one the female lead made for the supporting male character. Indeed, the female lead loves the male lead more. Sia Zixuan returned home late at night. She casually wrapped her arms around my waist from behind, resting her chin intimately on my shoulder. Her voice was full of exhaustion. "My love, I'm so tired. Just hug me and you'll feel better right away. Cheating also makes you tired? It's truly ridiculous. My love," I heard the housekeeper say, "you cooked by yourself today? Did the food I made not suit your taste? What do you want to eat? I'll make it for you again tomorrow," she continued to ask. "No need, just take care of your own business. If I want to eat something, I'll make it myself." Although I rarely cook, my cooking skills aren't bad. Sia Zixuan seemed to have thought of something. She affectionately rubbed against me and said, "My love, it's been a long time since I've had your stewed bird's nest. Will you make it for me to bring to the company tomorrow?" I hesitated for a moment, but in the end, I agreed. Okay. The next day, Sia Zixuan indeed left with the stewed bird's nest. I changed my clothes and followed her, as if inviting suffering upon myself. Before, Sia Zixuan had never eaten stewed bird's nest. She originally didn't like this sticky texture, yet now she was actively asking for it. The reason for this, I had already guessed some of it. Sia Zixuan's car didn't head back to Shen Corporation, but instead went to the office building of another company. A young man stepped out to greet her. He took the box of stewed bird's nest, happily receiving admiring glances from his colleagues nearby. "Yang Taiwei, your girlfriend is truly too thoughtful. She brought you breakfast so early in the morning. This bird's nest smells so good. It must have been stewed for a long time. It really makes others envious." "Yang Taiwei, you're truly too happy. You get small surprises like this every day. Us single people can only look on in longing." So he was the male lead, Yang Taiwei. Yang Taiwei's smile became even more radiant. He wrapped his arm around Sia Zixuan's slender waist. With a triumphant look, he thanked her. "Our Zixuan is the best." After his colleagues passed by, he whispered into Sia Zixuan's ear, "I also prepared a gift for Zixuan today. You can only open it in the car." All I could see was Yang Taiwei leaning into Sia Zixuan's ear and saying something. Sia Zixuan's expression became surprised. She reached out and gave Yang Taiwei's butt a sharp pinch. I was so disgusted I almost vomited. Without waiting for Yang Taiwei to finish eating, Sia Zixuan impatiently pulled him into the car. Soon the Maybach swayed like a small boat on the waves. With violent shaking, the comments were covered in pink hearts and sweet words continuously appearing on the screen. Blessings for this fated couple. The comments cheered. So sweet, I just felt disgusted and nauseous. If they can be in heat anywhere, they're just animals. I tried to suppress the discomfort in my heart. I took out my phone and recorded a video, to keep as evidence. My marriage with Sia Zixuan had come to an end. I wasn't sure if this woman would bite back at me during the divorce. I had to keep evidence that would benefit me. Finally, I looked at that car one more time. The Maybach was still shaking violently. I sent Sia Zixuan a message. "Is it delicious?" As expected, there was no reply. I didn't look left or right. I went straight to the company. That Sia Zixuan loved me was something everyone knew. Even when Sia Zixuan wasn't at the company, I could easily enter her office. Pushing open the office door, I walked straight to the desk. The Dreamcatcher hung quietly in a corner of the desk. Sia Zixuan didn't sleep well, always having nightmares. This was something I knew, and it was something that pained me, so I personally wove this Dreamcatcher. Every stitch was filled with all my tenderness and love. For 3 days and 3 nights, I didn't close my eyes just to give Sia Zixuan the very best. As a result, I fell seriously ill. Later, that Dreamcatcher was placed by Sia Zixuan on her office desk. She could see it just by looking up. She said it was like Xinghan was always by her side, giving her peace of mind. Probably now, Sia Zixuan doesn't need it anymore. She has a successful career and a lover in her arms. What use does she have for a Dreamcatcher now? I wanted to take away everything I had given Sia Zixuan. On the day I leave, I will completely vanish from Sia Zixuan's world, leaving no trace behind. On the tidy desk, besides the fountain pen she usually used, there was also a photo of Sia Zixuan and me together. The cartoon photo frame was chosen by my own hands. Next to it were a few small items, a mint-flavored lip balm, a black USB drive, clearly men's belongings. Anyone who saw them would exclaim that CEO Xia truly loved him. I rummaged through those items, throwing everything that belonged to me into the trash. I broke the Dreamcatcher, tore up the photo. The dark trash bag silently swallowed everything, and also swallowed my past love and dreams. After I carried the trash bag out, I still didn't forget to tell the receptionist, "Don't tell CEO Xia that I came." The receptionist, with an "I understand" look, smiled ambiguously and said, "Yes, Mr. Fu, we'll keep this surprise a secret." I let out a chuckle, not explaining further. Once I'm gone, Sia Zixuan can live happily ever after with her male lead. That's truly a heaven-sent surprise. I casually threw the trash into a roadside bin, went to the supermarket and bought a pile of snacks, toys, and school supplies, and asked the staff to come with me to Sunny Orphanage. "It's Uncle Xinghan. Uncle Xinghan is here. Uncle, we missed you so much." The children saw me, cheered and surrounded me, asking all sorts of questions. A gentle smile appeared on my face, answering their questions one by one. Suddenly a child asked, "Uncle Xinghan, where is Sister Zixuan? Why didn't she come with you?" My movements paused slightly, then returned to normal. "She's been busy lately. She'll come visit everyone next time." Because of my unhappy childhood, after growing up, I always sponsored the orphanage. The 15th was the day I definitely had to visit the children at the orphanage. Before, Xia Zixuan always came with me. No matter how busy she was, she would cancel all her work. I still remember one time when we went to the orphanage, we suddenly encountered heavy rain. The power went out. The entire orphanage was plunged into darkness. Xia Zixuan worried that I was afraid of the dark, so she held me tight. Her warm, gentle voice whispered in my ear again and again. Xinghan, don't be afraid, I'll always be by your side. Xinghan, it's all right. In the dark room, only a single candle flickered. The faint yellow light illuminated the woman's gentle face. I nestled into Xia Zixuan's embrace, feeling the warmth from her arms. My icy heart gradually melted. The love from before, gentle and silent. Warmth enveloped me. But now, the image of the shaking Maybach suddenly flashed in my mind. And Yang Taiwei's handsome face. My lips twitched. I laughed mockingly. What's a supporting male character doing pretending to be a good person? Why do I actually think the supporting male character is very good? He's not at fault? Can the person in front please shut up? Do you understand what it means for a crematorium to chase after her husband? He's just a tool. The comments flashed before my eyes, like sharp needles piercing my nerves. After playing with the children at the orphanage all day, it was late at night when I returned home. As soon as I opened the door, a graceful figure rushed over and hugged me tightly. My love, where have you been? Kept calling but couldn't reach you. I was so worried about you. I turned on the light. The dazzling light made Xia Zixuan instinctively squint her eyes. I stared at her slightly red eyes, and her poorly concealed satisfied expression. My heart turned cold. I went to the orphanage. Xia Zixuan was stunned. She quickly reacted. She hugged me tightly and refused to let go. Apologizing remorsefully, I'm sorry, my love, I was too busy today. I forgot that today I was supposed to go to the orphanage with you. Next time let's go together, okay? Her voice was earnest, her gaze sincere, as if it was truly because of work, that she was too busy and forgot our date. There won't be a next time, I thought to myself. I'm leaving soon. 1 more week. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Xia Zixuan panicked a little. She gripped my arm tightly. Staring intently at me, she said, My love, are you angry with me? She had deep, affectionate eyes. Her face was aggrieved, cautious like a puppy caught in the rain. Her entire mind and gaze were focused only on the person in front of her. Before, I was very easily swayed by this trick of hers. Now I only felt disgust. Disgusted to the core. No, I'm just a little tired. I avoided Xia Zixuan's gaze and poured myself a glass of warm water. Was the stewed bird's nest delicious? Xia Zixuan nodded without changing her expression, saying it was very delicious. My love's cooking is truly good. I put down the glass of water and turned around. Opening my mouth, I said each word clearly. There was lily in it. The atmosphere immediately froze. Xia Zixuan had a severe allergy to lilies. If she accidentally ate even a little, she would have to be rushed to the emergency room. Yet now she said it was delicious. A flicker of panic appeared in Xia Zixuan's eyes. She quickly reacted. She coughed softly. Because Xinghan made it, even if there's lily, I'll still eat it. It's just a trip to the hospital. It's no big deal. She stepped forward, took my hand, and gently kissed it. Seriously, devoutly looking at me. As if I were her only believer. Xinghan, even if you want my life, I'll give it to you. Oh, the female lead is really too pitiful. She has to endure such grievances here because of the male lead. Didn't the supporting male character already see the female lead and male lead together? What's the point of asking these questions now? Disgusting, only knows how to seek attention. I glanced at those dazzling comments and gave Xia Zixuan a radiant smile. Xia Zixuan, I want to go to Iceland to see the aurora. Let's go tomorrow. This was our old promise. To go to Iceland to see the aurora, and there, swear eternal love. Xia Zixuan was clearly stunned for a moment. Immediately she smiled dotingly and said, I'll go arrange it right away. She turned and went into the study. As for me, I went back to the master bedroom. I didn't pack my luggage, because I knew Xia Zixuan couldn't go to Iceland with me. Her Yang Taiwei wouldn't allow it. And so it was. Before sleeping, I received a strange message. The arrogant tone immediately made me recognize the sender's identity. Do you believe it? That only I can go to Iceland with her? All it takes is one phone call from me, and she'll leave you. I took a screenshot as evidence. Read, no reply. I naturally believed it. I precisely wanted the other party to do that. There was no love left. Even breathing the same air felt suffocating, let alone being in the same room. The next morning, Xia Zixuan carried her luggage. Standing in front of me with a face full of apologies. I'm sorry, my love, company suddenly has an urgent business trip. When I return, can we go to Iceland then? A round trip to Iceland would take at least a week. All right. I nodded in agreement without a second thought. Don't overwork yourself. I hope when Xia Zixuan returns and receives the divorce papers, she can also be like now, displaying such a sincere expression. With Xia Zixuan not here, I had a few quiet days. I didn't even need to ask about Xia Zixuan's situation. The comments excitedly reported everything to me. 5 more days until I leave, skiing in Iceland. Ah, Sister Zixuan is so beautiful, Brother Yang Taiwei is so handsome, a celestial couple. I shopped for luggage for my trip abroad, and told the housekeeper to dig up the peach tree in the backyard. The fruit tree that Xia Zixuan had personally planted for me was now uprooted. Fourth day of the countdown. Sister Zixuan is so doting. She bought a sky-high price top-tier fish for Brother Yang Taiwei. What kind of unparalleled love is this? I met up with friends in the city, eating and having fun. I didn't mention that I was leaving soon. Only said that I missed everyone. My friends teased me, saying that even with such a happy marriage, I still remembered my friends. I just smiled. The final day of the countdown, the kiss of the century, witnessed by the aurora. Sister Zixuan gave Yang Taiwei a priceless scepter. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince. I had gotten used to seeing the comments as entertainment. I glanced through the comments, seeing Xia Zixuan and Yang Taiwei having a glorious love. My hands continued to pack my luggage. Visa procedures were complete. Tomorrow afternoon's flight. I will forever leave this city. Xia Zixuan arrived in the city early on the second day. She didn't know why, but her heart was pounding today. She always had an extremely bad premonition. She was eager to go home, wanted to see me, but her wrist was suddenly gripped. Yang Taiwei held her. His eyes held a deadly charm. Zixuan, your new toys have arrived. Want me to play with them for you? Xia Zixuan swallowed. Dark desire flared in her eyes. In any case, she was already in the city. Going home in the morning or afternoon didn't make much difference. She went into the bathroom to shower. As for Yang Taiwei, he sent me a meticulously prepared document. You can't satisfy her. The person she loves is me. Only when she's with me does she burn with passion. Don't you know yet? When we're in bed, she keeps calling my name passionately over and over again, hating that she can't give her whole life to me. The document meticulously recorded the time, location, and his activities with Xia Zixuan's intimate interactions, even accurate to the minute. Even the number of times and duration were recorded in detail. Inside, there were also intimate photos from their trip to Iceland. Each photo seemed to be flaunting some kind of trophy. As for me, I was just a cheap substitute, a joke. I calmly read through this document. The Iceland trip was a journey he had painstakingly prepared for half a year. In the end, it all became a wedding dress for Yang Taiwei. The comments burst into laughter. Haha, the male lead is too adorable. That secretly show-off demeanor makes my heart melt, like a kitten extending its claws. So adorable. He's so handsome. I only like this kind of resourceful person, not like the first wife, weak and useless. No way. Does no one truly see that the supporting male character is very innocent? He just doesn't know the truth, so he has to endure all this? I scrolled the file to the very end. A surrogacy certificate clearly appeared. Eggs from Xia Zixuan. The accompanying text was even more arrogant. Do you really think she's willing to not have children because of you? Stop dreaming. She just doesn't want to have children with you. Look, she secretly gave me her frozen eggs. We already have the crystallization of our love. She is extremely looking forward to the birth of this child. If I were you, I'd get lost right away, lest we expose each other and both look bad. No wonder she had support and feared nothing. So it turns out they found someone to be a surrogate for their child. I nodded, calmly sending the message with the document, and at the same time, sent it to my divorce lawyer. Good, they already have a child. Xia Zixuan probably won't continue to bother me anymore. It's just that I stared at the sentence, hating that she can't give her whole life to me. The corner of my lips curved into a mocking smile. Xia Zixuan's life is truly cheap. She gives it to anyone. As Xia Zixuan left Yang Taiwei's house feeling satisfied, I also pulled my suitcase, leaving the villa without looking back once, getting into a taxi. I watched the scenery continuously recede outside the car window, secretly saying to myself, goodbye, Xia Zixuan. From now on, we will not meet again. Xia Zixuan was still on her way back. Suddenly, her heart tightened, as if she had lost something. She couldn't help but urge the driver to speed up. A sudden longing welled up in her heart, to rush into my arms. She took out her phone and sent me a message. Xinghan, guess where I am? The message was sent, but no one replied. Xia Zixuan's heart grew even more panicked. She kept comforting herself inwardly. It's okay, Xinghan must be busy. Didn't see the message. Yet before, no matter how busy I was, I would reply to messages immediately. Drive faster. If you don't know how to drive, don't come anymore. The car hadn't fully stopped yet, when Xia Zixuan impatiently rushed out of the car. Under the housekeeper's surprised gaze, she stormed into the villa. My love, I'm home, her voice echoed in the empty living room, but there was no reply from me. My love, Xinghan, Xia Zixuan could barely suppress the panic that was almost gushing forth in her heart. She called and looked around. Still no one replied. Where's the master? Xia Zixuan coldly swept her gaze over the housekeeper. The housekeeper flinched. Bowing her head, she stammered, The master went out today. Where did he go? Her Xinghan went out without telling her. Since when did we become so distant? Xia Zixuan's heart constricted, painful and uncomfortable. I don't know, the master didn't say. The housekeeper shook her head repeatedly, but the master was pulling a suitcase. He must be on a business trip. Suitcase? Business trip? Xia Zixuan's head buzzed. Her mind was blank. I had long since lost my job. She supported me entirely. What business trip? Send people to search at the airport, the train station. We must stop him, Xia Zixuan called her assistant, roaring like a caged beast. Xia, is Mr. Fu angry with you? The assistant's confused voice was like a bucket of cold water, striking hard at Xia Zixuan's head. Find my husband! Xia Zixuan gritted her teeth. She snatched the car keys and rushed into the car, flooring the accelerator. The Bugatti Veyron roared with a terrifying sound, and in an instant, it sped away. On the way, Xia Zixuan didn't know how many red lights she had run. She didn't care. She just wanted to find me. From the Xia family villa to the airport, it usually took an hour. Xia Zixuan tried to get there in 20 minutes. She got out of the car, but stopped at the vast airport. Am I really here? Xia Zixuan didn't know. She only felt her heart empty to the point of panic. If she didn't find me, she would surely die. Not far away, a tall figure flashed past. Xia Zixuan rushed forward, grabbing the other person's hand tightly. I'm sorry, Xinghan. I was wrong. Come home with me. From now on, I'll never leave you for so long again. Please forgive me. His words suddenly stopped. The stranger boy fearfully pulled his hand back. I don't know you. He pulled his suitcase and hastily ran away, leaving Zixuan standing there alone, stunned. She had never mistaken someone before, even in a vast crowd. She could recognize me instantly, the feeling of losing something. Panic made Zixuan restless. She clutched her phone, calling the unanswered number repeatedly. Xinghan, why did you disappear? Don't you love me anymore? He clearly loved her so deeply. How could she just leave? At the same time, I was sitting silently in the VIP lounge. The angry bullet comments told me what Zixuan had done. I'm literally dying of anger. What is a mere supporting male character doing? He's using all his schemes to steal the love that rightfully belongs to the male lead. Isn't that despicable? If he knew the female lead was even driving recklessly to the airport to find him, he'd surely be secretly ecstatic. I ignored the comments and deleted everything related to Zixuan. From my phone, she clearly loved him so deeply. So don't leave anything unpleasant behind. Mr. Fo, it's almost time for boarding. Please follow me. The flight attendant's voice pulled me back to reality. I softly replied, turn off the phone, remove the SIM card. Under the surprised gaze of the flight attendant, I broke the SIM card I hadn't changed in 10 years and casually threw it in the trash. It was truly too decisive. Even the bullet comments were stunned for a moment. Why do I feel like the supporting male character really wants to leave this time? That SIM card was his and the female lead's couple number, right? In the story, he always cherished it. Even after being attacked by netizens later, he never thought of changing his number. Why did he throw it away now? So disgusting, just for show. It's all intentional. It's just a tactic to attract the female lead. Guided by the attendant, I entered the VIP boarding gate. My identity was special. A group of bodyguards shielded me completely. Zixuan happened to arrive here. Her gaze swept past the bodyguards and then pulled back. It wasn't her Xinghan. Her Xinghan was just a house husband. All the money she gave him was spent on her. How could he afford to hire so many bodyguards? Xinghan, where exactly are you? Zixuan was in immense pain. She softly muttered, walking in the opposite direction from me, then quickly walked away as it got closer to boarding time. My steps paused slightly. Mr. Fo, is something wrong? Nothing. I lowered my eyes. Let's go. I think I just saw Zixuan, but it doesn't matter anymore. Zixuan, goodbye. Zixuan searched the airport until late at night. The person she was waiting for wasn't me, but Yang Taiwei, following her assistant, with bloodshot eyes. Zixuan, you really worried me to death. Yang Taiwei stepped forward and took Zixuan's hand, his face full of worry. No matter what happens, you still have to take care of your health. It's already so late. Let's go home first. Zixuan stood still with a cold expression. She glanced past Yang Taiwei and stared at the assistant. Any news yet? The person she was asking about was, of course, me. The assistant bowed his head, not daring to look into Zixuan's eyes. Not yet, I don't know why. They had tried everything but still couldn't find any trace of me, as if I had never existed in this world. Useless. If you can't find him, keep looking, Zixuan snarled. Her eyes were cold. Her entire being exuded a terrifying cold aura. If you can't find him, don't bother coming to work anymore. She didn't believe that an adult could simply vanish from this world. I absolutely cannot leave her. Yang Taiwei stood quietly and obediently to the side. In his eyes, jealousy had almost materialized. Zixuan, don't be too angry. I think Xinghan is just in a bad mood, wanting to go out for a walk. Yang Taiwei tried to approach, but Zixuan stopped him with a sharp, knife-like gaze. Zixuan. Yang Taiwei gritted his teeth in anger, but could only pretend to be pitiful, looking at her piteously. I'm so worried about you. Zixuan's expression softened slightly. You go back first. If I can't find him, I won't be able to go home. Yang Taiwei obediently left. Zixuan searched the airport all night until she was exhausted, fainted, and was taken to the hospital. Xinghan, the moment she woke up, Zixuan shot up, shouting loudly. The hospital room was empty, stark white, cold, and lifeless. How could my shadow be there? Zixuan's heart suddenly felt empty. If it were before, if she got sick, I would never leave her side, caring for her by the bedside. I always wholeheartedly treated her so well. Zixuan. The hospital room door opened. Yang Taiwei walked in, carrying a food container. He took out each exquisite dish from the box, his tone gentle and pained. You didn't rest all night. You were so tired you fainted. I specifically made nourishing dishes for you. Eat a little more. Get well soon. Zixuan was not like before, gently and tenderly embracing him. Instead, she calmly looked at him and said, "You go back first." Yang Taiwei was stunned. His eyes quickly reddened. Why? Ha Zixuan remained silent, just a distant gaze that struck fear. He must be upset, because Yang Taiwei is here. As long as Yang Taiwei disappears, Xinghan will surely return. Yang Taiwei suddenly felt uneasy. Ha Zixuan had never looked at him with such cold eyes. Then I'll go first. Zixuan, please remember to eat well. Wait, Ha Zixuan called him back. Under Yang Taiwei's teary eyes, she continued, take all the food back. I know she's sick. I will definitely bring her food. Yang Taiwei left with bloodshot eyes. Ha! Zixuan's gaze flickered, but she didn't stop him. Ha Zixuan's messages to me were still like a stone sinking into the sea. When she called, the other side was off. I was determined not to let her contact me. Ha Zixuan clutched her phone. A hint of annoyance flashed in her eyes. Had she not been good enough to him? Why would he want to disappear? Just because she didn't agree to his trip to Iceland, and he had to be so angry? But she clearly promised him that she would take him after she returned. Couldn't he wait a little longer? A fire of anger flared up, spreading wildly like weeds in her heart. Ha Zixuan began to harbor resentment towards me. If he were a little more understanding. As obedient and understanding as Yang Taiwei, how good would that be? Ha Zixuan ultimately didn't wait for me to come to the hospital to take care of her. The assistant picked her up and took her home. The moment she opened the door to their home, Ha Zixuan rushed in, deluding herself that I would run down from upstairs. With a brilliant smile, throwing myself into her arms, pouting. In reality, the house was empty. The silence was so profound you could hear a pin drop, making Ha Zixuan's heart feel empty. She took the stairs 2 at a time, quickly running upstairs, opening the master bedroom door. What met her eyes was a clean, tidy, large bed, but where their wedding photo used to hang above the headboard was now empty. Ha Zixuan's pupils trembled, daring to believe. Where was the wedding photo? Where had her and Xinghan's wedding photo gone? Not just the wedding photo, the dressing table, the bathroom, the wardrobe. Ha Zixuan frantically searched every corner, unable to find anything that belonged to me, as if she had always lived there alone. Ha Zixuan rushed into the study like a madwoman. She knew this place held her and my memories. I once smiled brightly. Patting her head, I said, "This place holds our precious memories. Later, we will definitely create many more memories to fill this place." But now, in the study, besides her documents, there was nothing else. The past that once belonged to us had all disappeared. Ha Zixuan's face turned pale, as if all strength had drained from her body. She slumped to the ground. Her heart was shaken. I seemed to have truly left her. "Mr. Fo, you're finally here. The project has been delayed for a long time. We believe that, with your participation, we will surely overcome the difficulties quickly. I will do my best." I smiled, ignoring the bullet comments, curses, and ridicule. I followed the staff who came to pick me up into the car. For the next 3 years, I will focus solely on research. As for Ha Zixuan, it doesn't matter, no problem. Ha Zixuan ransacked the entire villa, but couldn't find anything that belonged to me. I left so decisively, not even wanting to leave her with a single memory. That elegant and noble woman had changed, no longer meticulous and refined as before. Tired and haggard, she sank onto the sofa. Around her, empty wine bottles lay scattered on the floor. She couldn't find me, nor anything that belonged to me. Originally, her life was filled with my breath and my traces, but now, everything was gone. "My dear husband," Ha Zixuan softly murmured, her voice hoarse, carrying a chilling despair. She didn't understand why I had left so decisively. Wasn't it just because of the Iceland trip, that she hadn't immediately taken me? She had pampered and cared for me for so many years. Why couldn't I even understand this small thing, and be tolerant of her? In my heart, was she so cheap, to be discarded at will? The phone rang. For the first time, Ha Zixuan felt. The 3 words Yang Taiwei were so grating on her eyes. She frowned, silenced it, not wanting to answer, until the phone automatically hung up. Yang Taiwei sent a message. "Zixuan, shall we have lunch together today? I miss you so much." Since Ha Zixuan kicked him out of the hospital yesterday, he no longer dared to text Ha Zixuan. He had been thinking all night. Yang Taiwei knew, whether I left or not, now was the best chance for him to seize the opportunity and step in. Ha Zixuan silently stared at this message for a long time, her eyes profound. After a long while, she replied, "Okay." In the restaurant, Ha Zixuan met Yang Taiwei, who was meticulously dressed. He wore a casual white shirt, his hair soft but not messy, making him even more adorable and handsome. Yang Taiwei saw Ha Zixuan. His eyes lit up, calling out affectionately. Normally, Ha Zixuan hated hearing his voice like this the most. Just hearing it would awaken her desires, and then she would dote on him completely. A hint of complacency flashed in Yang Taiwei's eyes. So what if I was there? Physical desire is the most real. Ha Zixuan loved him, and the one who would ultimately become Mr. Ha could only be him. But what disappointed Yang Taiwei was, Ha Zixuan merely had a calm expression, sitting opposite him ordering food, leaning back in her chair. "Zixuan, what's wrong?" Yang Taiwei carefully probed. His deer-like eyes sparkled with worry. Ha Zixuan shook her head, steadfastly staring at Yang Taiwei's obedient, gentle appearance. In her mind, she thought of me sitting opposite her again, sweetly and happily looking at me. There was a time, she also frequently ate with me at restaurants. Going to restaurants, I liked to experience them, but gradually, those days became fewer and fewer. She seemed to go out with me very rarely anymore. Ha Zixuan was momentarily lost in thought. A question couldn't help but arise in her heart. Why? What's going on? Zixuan, are you still heartbroken over him? Yang Taiwei bit his lower lip tightly, his expression conflicted, yet pained. He's truly too happy. Because you, Zixuan, care for him and love him so much. Whatever he does is forgiven. I'm truly very jealous of him. He tried to hide the envy in his words. Lowering his eyes, his eye rims reddened. If I were him, I definitely wouldn't be so unreasonable. Zixuan just wants her life. To be a little richer and happier. Why can't he understand that? He's not like that. Ha Zixuan frowned, annoyedly interrupting. Watch your words. Yang Taiwei's hand under the table clenched tightly. His fingernails dug deep into his flesh. He forced a smile, his eyes bloodshot. Before, whenever he showed this expression, no matter what he wanted, Ha Zixuan would immediately compromise and coax him. This time, Ha Zixuan didn't let him have his way. The woman stood up, without eating anything, turned and left. She had thought that with a heavy heart, she could at least find comfort from Yang Taiwei. Who knew Yang Taiwei, who was usually so obedient and compliant, would speak so wildly today? Her husband was the best man in this world. No one was allowed to speak ill of him. The phone kept ringing. All calls from Yang Taiwei. Ha Zixuan frowned tightly and directly turned off her phone. She wandered aimlessly through the streets. She didn't dare to go home, not daring to face the house without me. It was too cold and lifeless. Being in the house would suffocate her. She called her assistant, asking in a low voice, "Still no news of the sir?" "Sorry, CEO Ha. Useless. Keep looking. Even if you have to dig 3 feet deep, you must find him." Ha Zixuan tiredly rubbed her temples. When passing a men's luxury brand store, she suddenly stopped, turned and walked in. "Wrap up all the latest items. I want to give them to someone else." Ha Zixuan bought all the designer items, then left under the admiring gazes of the store staff. CEO Ha is so generous. So many luxury items, without even batting an eyelid. I truly admire Mr. Hai. Mr. Ha must have saved the entire galaxy in his past life. Otherwise, how could he meet such a good woman? Ha Zixuan carried many gifts home, seeing the villa gate almost in front of her. Ha Zixuan's heart suddenly filled with anticipation. Perhaps now that she's home, her husband would be back, waiting for her at home. From dating to marriage, they had never been apart for so long, even if her husband held resentment in his heart. He should have cooled down by now. Ha Zixuan looked down at the heavy gift boxes in her hands. A slight smile touched her lips. As long as she sweet-talked him a bit more, I would surely forgive her and continue to be by his side. "Honey." She pushed the door open. In the empty, cold house, only the housekeeper was quietly cleaning. The person she longed for day and night was nowhere to be seen. Ha Zixuan's heart grew cold. The items in her hands scattered across the floor. She not only didn't pick them up, but stood there stunned. He still wasn't back. The delicious aroma of food wafted from the kitchen. Ha Zixuan's heart lit up with hope again. Honey must be in the kitchen preparing dinner. After all, he'd been gone so long without a word. Honey must be feeling remorseful and apologetic, wanting to prepare a surprise to apologize to her. Ha Zixuan looked enlightened. She broke into a gentle smile, taking large strides towards the kitchen. "Honey, why are you cooking yourself? What do you want to eat? Just let me do it." Before her words finished, Ha Zixuan's smile froze on her face. "Madam?" The housekeeper in the kitchen turned around, surprised and confused, still holding a spatula. "Where is the sir?" Ha Zixuan's voice became hoarse. "The sir, since his last departure, has not returned." The housekeeper replied, but dared not ask another question. Ha Zixuan told the housekeeper to leave, then busied herself in the kitchen. She skillfully chopped vegetables and cooked rice. A tempting aroma spread. The woman's eyes reddened again as she scooped the food. These dishes were all her beloved husband's favorites. Before, as soon as the aroma spread, I would stealthily approach, hugging her tightly from behind, and softly pouting. Her thoughts returned to reality. Ha Zixuan only felt endless coldness. No one would embrace her like that anymore. A sumptuous meal was laid on the table. Ha Zixuan sat by the dining table, not touching her chopsticks, just calmly looking at the villa. The housekeepers inside looked at each other, all silent like cicadas in the cold. Ha Zixuan stayed in the villa for a whole week. Everyone secretly said Ha Zixuan had gone mad. Ha Zixuan, who used to be a workaholic, now didn't go to the company, canceling countless important meetings. Before, Yang Taiwei only needed a phone call. A message was enough to summon that woman. Now she directly blocked his messages. Every morning she woke up, facing the empty space beside her, softly saying good morning, then went downstairs to make a lavish breakfast. During the day, when she had nothing to do, she would sit on my favorite balcony, hugging my favorite soft feather blanket, basking in the sun. She didn't care about anything, frantically searching for traces of me in the overlap of memory and life, as if just doing that meant I was still by her side. When the assistant brought important documents to the house, Ha Zixuan was sitting by the dining table, gently talking to the empty chair opposite her. "Husband, this is a new dish I specially learned to make. Try it and see if it suits your taste. If you don't like it, I'll make you something else." The assistant's footsteps stopped nearby. It had been over a week. They still hadn't found me. They had clearly used every method, but still couldn't find any trace of me. At first, Ha Zixuan was furious, but gradually became indifferent. The assistant thought Ha Zixuan had given up. After all, Ha Zixuan didn't just have me. She also had Yang Taiwei. Yang Taiwei was handsome, generous, obedient, and understanding. Even if he became the new Mr. Ha, it wouldn't matter. But now it seemed. Ha Zixuan had not given up at all, but had fallen into a dream she created herself, not wanting to accept, so she deceived herself. The assistant patiently waited for Ha Zixuan to finish talking to thin air, only then stepped forward. Madam, these important documents require your signature. Just leave them there. Ha Zixuan didn't even glance at them, intently staring at the empty spot opposite me. These documents are already extremely urgent. They need to be processed immediately. However, before he could finish his words, he was coldly interrupted by a shut-up. The assistant looked up in surprise, only to see Ha Zixuan suddenly lower her voice. Icy cold. Her tone was like thousand-year-old ice, sending shivers down one's spine. But very quickly after, her voice became gentle, like water, like a spring breeze caressing her face. My husband and I are eating. My husband doesn't like me discussing work at home. She, towards me, or rather she once faced Xinghan. Her love for the unfaithful one now has deeply permeated her very being. No matter when or where, she always prioritizes my feelings. It's as if I'm the center of her world. All her joys and sorrows revolve around me. As long as I'm happy, she feels everything is worthwhile. Even if it means giving up her career and dreams, she wouldn't regret it. The special assistant's expression was incredibly complex. His face was a mix of helplessness, worry, and anger. He gritted his teeth, gathering all his courage, and spoke with a slight tremor. If Xian Shengfu were still here, he surely wouldn't want to see Madame Xia like this. Immediately, the aura around Xia Zixuan turned utterly cold, as if the air itself had frozen. Her gaze emanated a chilling coldness, like two sharp cold swords, making one dare not look directly. Xian Shengfu is still here. He hasn't gone anywhere. In her heart, I'm just like a mischievous child who went out on a whim to play. As long as she waits patiently at home, I will surely, as always, return to her with a smile. After a week, I had completely adjusted to the straight-line routine at the Research Institute. Every day, I was like a tireless machine, immersed in research, unable to break free. This pure research life made my heart more peaceful than ever. It seemed as if all worries and anxieties had been cast far away. Bullet comments continued to appear every day. They were like a seasoning in my tranquil life, though sometimes bothersome. They also added no small amount of amusement. The content in the bullet comments was as fiery as ever. They indiscriminately resented me, as if I were the most heinous person in the world. I'm truly at my wit's end. Is the female lead insane or something? She stays at home doing nothing every day, making our male lead cry several times already. That cheap woman doesn't cherish what she has. Isn't it the supporting male who's causing all the trouble? If he had just obediently stayed with the female lead, following the script, and fulfilling the female lead and male lead's deeply entangled tragic love story, wouldn't everything have been fine? Of course, among them were a few bullet comments that thought I had no problem. Honestly, I think the supporting male is pretty good now. Contributing to the country, doing scientific research here, how is he hindering the female lead and male lead? However, whenever such comments appeared, they were immediately drowned in a wave of curses from other bullet comments. But from these bullet comments, I received new information. Xia Zixuan had become unbearably haggard because of my departure. But I wasn't moved in the slightest. On the contrary, I just wanted to sneer. It turns out that only someone who isn't by her side can receive Xia Zixuan's true heart. This is truly ridiculous. I shook my head, returned my colleagues' greetings, and walked with them into the research lab. Currently, the research is progressing smoothly, and I believe the latest results will be available this month. By then, my efforts will be rewarded. Meanwhile, Xia Zixuan's close friends, after learning of my disappearance, deliberately dragged her out of the villa. In the dark VIP room of the bar, Xia Zixuan silently leaned against the sofa, looking distant. She held a wine glass in her hand, her slender fingers clearly visible, but her eyes were empty and soulless. She lowered her gaze. Her whole body exuded a gloomy aura, as if enveloped by an invisible layer of darkness. Zixuan, why are you so quiet today? It's been a long time since we sisters got together. Normally, when we try to invite you out, you always say your brother-in-law would be sad alone at home, and refuse. Don't spoil the fun today, okay? One of them, hugging a man, teased. That's right, our sister Xia is finally free now. I think it's still Sister Xia being too good to men, spoiling them so much they don't know their place. They even dare to leave home. Just ignore him, wait until he realizes his mistake, and he'll definitely come back on his own. The others chimed in, echoing her words. They were all young ladies from prominent wealthy families. In their eyes, playing with men was as easy as changing clothes. As for Xia Zixuan being good to me, everyone knew about it. She was the dream wife for all the men in their circle. Really? Xia Zixuan suddenly spoke. Her voice was hoarse, her eyes dark and terrifying, as if filled with endless anger and pain. The woman who had just spoken was startled, then nodded vigorously. Yes, aren't all men like that? They're all carefree because they're pampered and loved. Just give them a taste of reality and they'll immediately know their mistake. Xia Zixuan remained silent. She tilted her head back, downing one glass of wine after another, as if wanting to numb her pain with alcohol. She was thinking, could it be that her darling also left without hesitation because she treated him too well? Did her pampering make her darling unappreciative? Drinking alone is boring. The others started calling in male escorts. Next, a man in a smart suit with a refined and handsome appearance entered. Yang Taiwei clutched his lapels, his fair, handsome face clearly showing innocence and fear. But as soon as he saw Xia Zixuan, his eyes suddenly lit up. Zixuan, so you're here. I finally found you. He embraced Xia Zixuan, and Xia Zixuan, in turn, hugged him. Her expression remained calm, but it had clearly softened. Why are you here? It's been a week since I last saw you. I missed you a lot too. Yang Taiwei initiated a kiss. His eyes were sparkling and moist, as if containing ancient fishhooks, provocatively drawing Xia Zixuan's gaze deeper. Xia Zixuan responded to the kiss with fervor. She poured all her longing for me madly onto Yang Taiwei. Everyone in the VIP room exchanged glances, seeing the unspoken understanding in each other's eyes. Indeed, there's no woman who doesn't know how to sneak around. They're still too naive. We should learn from Xia Zixuan. At home, the red flag doesn't fall. Outside, colorful flags flutter. Sister Xia? Who is this handsome guy? Someone asked. Xia Zixuan released Yang Taiwei, whose face was flushed from the kiss, and lazily leaned back on the sofa, her expression playful, yet she remained silent. Do you even need to ask? This is the first time Sister Xia has brought a man to our gathering. Do I even need to say what that means? Oh, so that's it. No wonder, I said. Why Sister Xia didn't say anything? It seems she's reluctant to introduce him to us sisters. Hearing their words, Yang Taiwei's face showed embarrassment, and he obediently leaned against Xia Zixuan. That night, Xia Zixuan got drunk. Yang Taiwei naturally took her home. In bed, in that ambiguous, hazy moment, Xia Zixuan, with both hands on either side of Yang Taiwei, her eyes entangled, filled with lingering affection. But in his eyes, she saw my handsome, flushed face. She softly called out, "Hubby, I miss you so much. You're finally back." She frantically pulled Yang Taiwei closer, demanding him again and again, until exhausted, she fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Xia Zixuan woke up with a pounding headache. She vaguely remembered getting drunk yesterday, and even seeing me return. In her memory, she and I hadn't seen each other in a long time, and had been especially passionate, making her cling to me again and again. Xia Zixuan swallowed, her body stirred with desire again. She reached out to her side, searching. The man was still half asleep. He groggily turned over, unconsciously pulling Xia Zixuan into his arms. When Xia Zixuan saw the other person's face, her breath hitched, the surging blood in her veins suddenly ran cold. No, it's Yang Taiwei. She shot up, unconsciously turning away to avoid the scene in bed. Then she got out of bed to wash her face. Zixuan. Yang Taiwei heard the movement and tiredly opened his eyes. Xia Zixuan paused her movement slightly and nodded indifferently. There's work at the company. I'm leaving now. You're not staying with me anymore? Yang Taiwei was slightly stunned, his handsome face filled with disappointment and helplessness. Clearly before, Xia Zixuan wouldn't have left so quickly. She would have hugged him tenderly. Why? After I disappeared, everything changed. Clearly, with my obstruction gone, Xia Zixuan should have loved him even more. Work is busier. Xia Zixuan said that. Her movements paused slightly. She still reached out and caressed Yang Taiwei's face. Be good. I'll come to you when I'm free. Are you still thinking about him? Xia Zixuan's footsteps, about to leave, stopped because of that sentence. She slowly turned her head, her eyes cold, without a trace of warmth. Things you shouldn't ask. Don't ask too much. You clearly once said you loved me, said I was the most important. Why can't I ask? Yang Taiwei's eyes reddened, unwilling and stubborn. Xia Zixuan stared deeply at him, and when Yang Taiwei could almost not bear it anymore, she silently turned and left. Xia Zixuan went home with a pile of luxury goods again. Just like before, whenever she had contact with Yang Taiwei, she would buy me gifts. Her heart constantly longed for me, even though I had left her life. The house, lacking its man, became so empty and cold, as if it had lost its soul. Xia Zixuan sat on the sofa recalling her friend's words. Maybe I really was too good to him, which made him spoiled and arrogant. If I just didn't care for him so much, would he get scared and come back on his own? Xia Zixuan's gaze swept around. The vase next to the TV was something I once said I liked, so she didn't hesitate to spend all her capital to buy it at auction. Because I didn't like wearing slippers and preferred walking barefoot around the house, she specially ordered custom hand-woven rugs from Italy, even personally choosing the finest and softest materials, just so I could be happy and comfortable at home. All the furniture in the house was also in the style I liked. She had wholeheartedly built for me, a perfect haven. But what about me? How could I heartlessly abandon her like that? Xia Zixuan began to bring Yang Taiwei to social gatherings more frequently. Even at gatherings among close friends, she had to bring Yang Taiwei along. Photos of them together were posted by everyone on social media. Many people were curious who Yang Taiwei was, that he could stand beside Xia Zixuan. But Xia Zixuan never explained, allowing these rumors to spread freely. Every time she saw these comments, Xia Zixuan thought to herself, he and I have many mutual friends. Even if he's being childish and doesn't want to contact me, he will definitely see these news updates. My darling never wanted to have ambiguous interactions with the opposite sex around me. If my darling sees this, will he quickly come back? Zixuan, I want to go to the amusement park. Will you come with me? When Yang Taiwei walked in from outside, he happened to see Xia Zixuan deep in thought. His heart tightened. He quickly spoke up, wanting to divert Xia Zixuan's attention. Every time Xia Zixuan missed me, she would show this expression. He was consumed with jealousy, but outwardly, he dared not show it at all. A defeated person who had been eliminated, on what basis was he still lingering in Xia Zixuan's heart? Okay. Xia Zixuan agreed without thinking. She thought that if she treated Yang Taiwei well, others would see it, and I would definitely see it too. Then I would be able to return to her. I truly saw everything, but not through Xia Zixuan's close friends posting on social media, but through the bullet comments. That group of good friends, when I left, I simultaneously blocked and deleted them all. For this entire life, I don't want to be involved with Xia Zixuan anymore. I already knew that in the female lead's heart, the person most important was definitely Yang Taiwei. Look how good the female lead is to Yang Taiwei. She grants every request. They're so sweet. The male lead is finally happy. All the previous suffering wasn't in vain. I'm already moved to tears. I pressed enter to let the computer program calculate automatically. While waiting for the results, I glanced at the bullet comments. When will they get married? I remember the marital relationship between the female lead and the supporting male hasn't been dissolved yet. Blame the supporting male entirely. Because he didn't want to divorce the female lead, he actually ran away like that. After the bullet comments reminded me, I just remembered. The divorce papers I sent via time-delayed mail must have reached Xia Zixuan by now. Since Xia Zixuan and Yang Taiwei are so affectionate, she will probably calmly sign when she receives the divorce papers. Xia Zixuan and Yang Taiwei had a crazy fun day at the amusement park. When she got home, she received a time-delayed mail. She suddenly remembered I once said I had prepared a gift for her. Her heart suddenly pounded, as if it wanted to leap from her chest. There was nothing left in the house related to me. She could only rely on memories, filling the void in her heart again and again. Now, finally, there was something to console her. Xia Zixuan's hands trembled. She carefully, bit by bit, opened the envelope, afraid of damaging the letter inside. She was certain this was definitely a love letter her darling hubby wrote for her. Before, we used to enjoy using time-delayed mail to prepare love letters to set up a pre-planned surprise for the future at some leisurely and comfortable moment. Who knows, there might even be a clue left by my darling hubby. Darling hubby is just playing a game with me, a relatively long separation game. Although it made her heart a little uneasy, but as long as it was a game I wanted to play, she was willing to indulge me. Xia Zixuan kept imagining in her mind what surprise I would prepare for her. When the envelope was opened, she carefully, bit by bit, opened the letter inside, but as soon as she clearly saw the content, her face immediately turned ashen. Divorce papers. How could this be? How could I bear to divorce him? We love each other so much. We've been together for so many years. She loved me so sincerely. On what grounds should I divorce? Xia Zixuan's face was gloomy. She crumpled the divorce papers into a ball and threw them forcefully onto the floor. No divorce, no matter what. I can't divorce him. She gritted her teeth, forcing out these words. She called her special assistant. Keep searching. I want to find him. Find the unfaithful one and bring him back here. The special assistant replied, as usual, saying nothing further. He knew clearly in his heart, how could I be found? If I could be found, then how could I have been away for so long? Xia Zixuan was extremely angry. Disbelief and wild resentment collided, burning away her reason, making her want to destroy everything in sight. Unfaithful one, where are you exactly? She gritted her teeth, her eyes dark as if wanting to destroy everything. Even if I die, you cannot leave me. I will not agree. She went mad, smashing everything in sight. Finally exhausted, she sat amidst the ruined room, dazed and listless, staring blankly at the ceiling. She didn't understand. How could I say I didn't love her anymore just like that? Did all the years she treated me well, I completely overlooked her devotion? Hello, Madam Xia. I am Xian Shengfu's divorce lawyer. A strange number called. The other party's words made Xia Zixuan's emotions spiral out of control once again. I don't agree to the divorce. Xia Zixuan's face was as cold as ice. She spoke each word distinctly. He is my husband, and always will be. My apologies, Madam Xia. Due to your marital infidelity, in the divorce proceedings, Xian Shengfu has the advantage. The divorce lawyer spoke with a clear and distinct tone. If you do not agree, we will proceed with a divorce lawsuit. A divorce lawsuit? Did darling hubby hate her that much, wanting to sever ties with her? Her love for me was known to all. If it truly came to a divorce lawsuit, how would people view her afterwards? And what about the unfaithful one? Xian Shengfu has granted us full authority to handle this matter. Tell him to talk to me. Even if it's a divorce, he must tell me himself. Xia Zixuan choked back a breath of anger. My apologies, Madam Xia. Xian Shengfu specifically instructed that all divorce matters be arranged by us. He will not interfere anymore. The divorce lawyer still firmly refused. Not to mention Xia Zixuan. Even they can't contact me now. No way, I don't agree to the divorce. Xia Zixuan hung up the phone, telling her special assistant to arrange a lawyer. She had only one request, no divorce. She never expected me to be so heartless, not only signing the divorce papers, but also arranging for a lawyer. Xia Zixuan's heart was cold and despairing. From when I disappeared until now, a glimmer of hope had always remained in her heart. She didn't believe I could just say I don't love her anymore, didn't believe I could just leave, just let go, until she saw these divorce papers. That's right, divorce papers. Xia Zixuan jumped up, searching through the wreckage for the divorce papers she had angrily thrown away. Even if she didn't want to admit it, Xia Zixuan knew clearly in her heart this was the last thing I left for her. The crumpled divorce papers were opened, wrinkled, but it didn't affect my beautiful signature at all. My handwriting was always strong and decisive, just like my personality, resolute. That year she married me, the invitation on the wedding card was personally written by me. At that time, Xia Zixuan even teased, "From now on, all important matters must be written by you. That way it'll be more beautiful." But she never expected. The last big matter would be divorce papers. Xia Zixuan's hands trembled. She meticulously smoothed out the wrinkles on the divorce papers. She deliberately ignored the big words divorce papers, focusing her gaze on the signature, Fu Xinghan. Each stroke, as if wanting to be etched into her soul. I had long been the most important part in her life. How could I bear to part ways? The divorce was more complicated than Xia Zixuan expected. The opposing lawyer held a lot of evidence of her infidelity. Photos of her and Yang Taiwei being intimate had almost turned Xia Zixuan's infidelity into undeniable proof. Not only that, because she hadn't been to the company for almost a month, the company's shareholders were extremely dissatisfied with her. Not a few shareholders even jointly signed a petition to replace the company manager. Things became noisy. Even Elder Xia, who had long retired to the background, was alarmed. Elder Xia had not intervened in company matters for many years, but this time he was forced to reappear. Zixuan, you have always been a smart child, never causing me much worry, but this time, you have disappointed me too much. Elder Xia looked at her with a grave expression. Her father passed away early, but he left behind quite a few illegitimate children. Among them, there's no shortage of exceptionally talented individuals. Elder Xia narrowed his eyes, half reminding, half warning. You should know what I'm trying to say. Grandpa, rest assured, I will handle this matter properly. Xia Zixuan replied in a low voice. To consolidate the company's position, Xia Zixuan had no choice but to work overtime day and night at the company. To silence the shareholders, she worked late into the night. Xia Zixuan rarely had a bad dream. In the dream, she was trapped on a deserted island, and I slowly vanished right before her eyes. No matter how much she screamed, I still turned my back and left decisively, never once looking back at her. Xia Zixuan suddenly opened her eyes wide. She gasped for air. Her whole body was drenched in cold sweat. Her eyes were filled with panic and unease. Traitor, Xia Zixuan! Pale-faced, wiped the cold sweat from her forehead. She subconsciously wanted to find the dream catcher. Before, whenever she worked overtime and had nightmares, she would always hold the dream catcher and play with it. Just like I once said, as long as she saw the dream catcher, it meant I was by her side. But this time, where was the dream catcher? Xia Zixuan frantically searched her office, but she couldn't find that exquisite dream catcher. Her heart constricted. Her heart uncontrollably pounded twice. She had never noticed before, but now Xia Zixuan finally realized something was amiss. Her office had become much emptier. The dream catcher I had woven for her was gone. The photo of us together on the desk had also vanished, and some small items belonging to me were no longer there. When did he come? What did he discover? Looking at the handcuffs, earrings, and other personal items left on the desk, Xia Zixuan couldn't help but panic. These were all Yang Taiwei's belongings. All of them were left behind. Only his things were nowhere to be found, so he had long discovered her, and the affair between her and Yang Taiwei. How could this be? She had clearly been so careful, and according to his personality, if he had really found out, he would definitely have confronted her. But he did nothing. He just quietly disappeared. A flame of anger flared up in her heart again. If I had asked her even just one question, she would have chosen me. But I intentionally didn't want to say anything at all. I was so sure that she couldn't live without me. After the anger came a fear that made her heart tremble with unease. Xia Zixuan collapsed onto her chair in despair. She covered her face with force. Her mournful cries, like those of a trapped beast, escaped through her fingers. Even so, she still couldn't let go of me. Xia Zixuan stayed awake all night. She sat motionless in her office for the entire night. Images of time spent with me kept flashing through her mind. When she finally remembered, Xia Zixuan's heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. The pain was unbearable. The company matters were still not resolved smoothly, and the scandal between Xia Zixuan and Yang Taiwei once again topped Weibo's trending searches. Someone online who knew the situation revealed that CEO Xia of Xia Corporation, while building an image of a loving wife, was secretly having an affair and being promiscuous. Numerous photos and chat logs were also released. Xia Corporation's reputation was damaged, stocks plummeted. To salvage her reputation, Xia Zixuan was overwhelmed with work. But because she hadn't had a proper rest in a long time, she fainted at the company. When she woke up again, she was in a VIP hospital room. Next to her, Yang Taiwei, whose eyes were red from crying, was keeping watch. Zixuan, you're finally awake? Is there anything uncomfortable with you? I'll go call the doctor right away. Seeing that she was awake, Yang Taiwei was extremely agitated. I'm fine. Where's my assistant? Madam CEO, I'm here. Xia Zixuan didn't even need to speak, her assistant respectfully replied from the side. Don't worry, public opinion online has been temporarily brought under control. Monitor it closely. No one is allowed to exploit my husband's reputation to profit from this tragedy. Xia Zixuan's expression was serious, but hearing these words, others would probably think how deeply she loved me. Yang Taiwei, standing beside her, felt his eyes grow even redder with jealousy. He was clearly the one by Xia Zixuan's side, yet in Xia Zixuan's eyes, there was only me. He lowered his head and sent a message to an unlabeled contact. Arrange for reporters to come here. I want everyone to know I am the man Zixuan loves most. The reporters arrived very quickly. They cornered Yang Taiwei in Xia Zixuan's hospital room. When they saw Yang Taiwei was also there, the reporters immediately swarmed in like wolves sensing blood. They rushed forward. Xiao Xia, Mr. Yang has been by your side all this time. Are you really having an affair with Mr. Yang? Xia Zixuan ignored them. Her perceptive assistant stepped forward to shoo everyone away. Even though Xia Zixuan said nothing, the reporters, from her evasive reaction, grasped a clue. Xiao Xia of Xia Corporation keeps a toy boy. Mr. Fu left heartbroken. Their fairy tale love has become a bubble. That damn slut. Countless similar keywords continuously appeared on Weibo. Xia Zixuan's image as a faithful lover, which was once so welcomed online, was now enduring just as much abuse. Yang Taiwei also couldn't escape this ordeal. He was criticized by millions of people and called a homewrecker. Yang Taiwei sought out Xia Zixuan. His face was pale. Zixuan, I don't want to live anymore. They're all scolding me, but I truly love you. I want to be with you. Xia Zixuan didn't embrace and comfort him as usual. Instead, she looked at him with icy cold eyes. Yang Taiwei shivered. Zixuan, why are you looking at me like that? You hired someone to post the news online, didn't you? And you called the reporters too, right? Xia Zixuan's eyes were terrifyingly dark. To investigate such a small matter, for her, it was as easy as flipping a hand. It was just that she had been preoccupied with company affairs, which gave Yang Taiwei the opportunity. A flicker of panic flashed in Yang Taiwei's eyes. He nervously explained, Zixuan, you've misunderstood me. I know you care a lot about him, so I just wanted to help you get him back. I thought if he saw this news, he would surely get jealous in return. I love you, so I'm willing to sacrifice everything for you. Even if I have to give you away, it's fine. Because as long as you're happy, I'm content. The more he spoke, the redder his eyes became, as if he had suffered a great injustice. Xia Zixuan gave him a deep look. Finally, she said nothing more. She spent money to suppress the trending news online and posted a long article expressing that her entire life, she only loved me. Others were not important. In the article, Xia Zixuan detailed the entire process of how she and I met, dated, and fell in love, and finally expressed her deep affection that she would wait for me to come home. But netizens didn't accept any of this. Such disgusting trash. She loved Fu Xinghan so much, yet she still cheated. Couldn't she control herself? I just threw up yesterday's leftovers, you fake trashy woman. Mr. Fu was right to leave. Being with this kind of woman is just self-torture. Xia Zixuan originally wanted to rely on the power of netizens to convince me to come home. Who knew she would only bring upon herself a storm of cyberbullying? She couldn't believe it. Even if she had some relationship with Yang Taiwei, she never allowed Yang Taiwei to appear before me. She never ruined my good mood. As long as I wanted, the position of Mr. Fu would always be mine. No matter who I was compared to, she would only choose me. Isn't that enough? She only made a small mistake. Why must all the good things she's ever done be completely negated? Xia Zixuan finally deleted the post and said that for her entire life, she only loved me, that I was her only husband. She had expressed her resolve. I should come back. Being scolded by netizens, the company's stock affected, sleeplessness, nightmares. The punishments she endured were more than enough. Who doesn't make mistakes? I couldn't contact the outside world, but I could still get news of Xia Zixuan from the bullet comments. I seriously feel so bad for the male lead. He clearly waited foolishly for the female lead, but the female lead completely ignored him. In her eyes, other than the supporting male lead, it was still the supporting male lead. Let the female lead run wild now. Later, she'll have a time to cry. The female lead even posted a long article on Weibo, bragging about her love story with the supporting male lead. Luckily, it was finally deleted. Otherwise, I would really be disgusted and throw up. Can't the female lead just love our Yang Taiwei properly? It was then that I learned that Xia Zixuan was still online, recounting our love story. I shook my head. Luckily, it was deleted. I also felt disgusted. Every time I thought of Xia Zixuan being good to me, it was just preparation for her to be good to Yang Taiwei. I felt uncomfortable. Xinghan, there's a big party in the cafeteria today. Let's go quickly. My colleague's words interrupted my thoughts. I gently replied, okay. Even though Xia Zixuan's image as a loving wife had now collapsed, her workability remained. Xia Corporation quickly stabilized its stock price, silencing the shareholders. She started trying every method to find me, but there was still no news. What made Xia Zixuan even more frightened was that my presence in the house was becoming increasingly faint. She could barely feel any trace of my past existence. Xia Zixuan searched for pitiful clues in the house, but repeatedly discovered that I had left nothing for her. She went to the backyard. She didn't usually like coming here, but I would occasionally sit here. When she saw the empty lawn, Xia Zixuan's heart suddenly tightened. Where are the fruit trees? Madam, the master told us to dig them up before he left. The servant replied. The last thread desperately clinging on, in her mind completely snapped. Xia Zixuan's face instantly turned pale. She staggered 2 steps, shaking her head in disbelief. No way. He loved these fruit trees the most, and loved taking care of them to blossom and bear fruit. How could he bear to dig them up? Only now did Xia Zixuan finally have to accept that I had completely left her. She truly couldn't find me anymore. Xia Zixuan delayed the divorce lawsuit, unwilling to expedite it. She had framed the divorce papers with my signature and placed it in the most conspicuous position in her office. Whenever she was tired from work, she would look up at my signature as if I was still by her side. The content of the divorce agreement above had been self-deceptively covered by a blank sheet of paper. She originally wanted to use a photo, but Xia Zixuan searched for a long time. She couldn't find a single photo of herself and me together. All of our previous photos together were kept by me. Now there was nothing to be found. Xinghan. Xia Zixuan caressed my signature on the framed photo. Her eyes were filled with disappointment and longing. She just quietly gazed at it, her mind swept away by the powerful current of memories, unable to escape. Her phone vibrated. It was Yang Taiwei calling. Xia Zixuan frowned. She didn't want to answer. She was still with me in her memories, to be disturbed by someone else like this. The phone automatically hung up and then rang again, until she finally lost patience. She answered, "What is it?" Her voice was laced with an undeniable coldness, making Yang Taiwei on the other end of the line stunned for a moment. "Zixuan, can you come and help me?" "Juan, there's a bit of a problem at the supermarket. I can't handle it alone." The supermarket was a gift Xia Zixuan gave him. It was also a promise they made when they were children. Xia Zixuan's eyes flickered slightly. There seemed to be a hint of struggle. In the end, she agreed. "He'll be right there." Because online, the story of Xia Zixuan and his affair had caused a huge sensation. It caused even Yang Taiwei to be angrily cursed by netizens as a shameless homewrecker, and no one knew who leaked the news, declaring that this supermarket was a gift from Xia Zixuan to Yang Taiwei. Netizens who hated homewreckers appeared here. They didn't buy anything, just to cause trouble and disgust others. Gradually, even regular customers coming to buy things knew that the owner of this supermarket had bad character and stopped coming. When Xia Zixuan rushed over, Yang Taiwei was surrounded by an angry crowd. He was disheveled, cowering in a corner, his face full of helplessness. I just genuinely love Zixuan. Please stop talking. Put you like someone else's wife. Do you have no shame?" Yang Taiwei gritted his teeth. His face was as pale as paper. He stubbornly retorted, defending himself. "But I clearly knew Zixuan first. We were the ones who should have been together from the start. If I hadn't left for a while, how could that treacherous man have had the chance to butt in? Clearly, I was the moonlight in Zixuan's heart. If it weren't for me going abroad that year, the position next to Xia Zixuan would only belong to me. Moreover, if Xia Zixuan didn't love me, why would she repeatedly beg him?" When Xia Zixuan appeared with bodyguards, Yang Taiwei's eyes lit up. "Zixuan," he ignored the curious stares of the crowd, wanting to throw himself into her arms. But Xia Zixuan took a step back, maintaining her distance. The bodyguards immediately stepped forward to separate the two. "Zixuan?" Yang Taiwei couldn't believe it. What did this mean? Was Xia Zixuan trying to keep her distance from him? I could seriously die laughing, being a homewrecker and still calling himself the legitimate partner. "Tisk tisk, don't you see CO Zaya's disgusted look?" Everyone wanted to take photos, but they were stopped by the bodyguards. Xia Zixuan said nothing and left with Yang Taiwei. Sitting in the Maserati, Yang Taiwei's eyes were red, as if tears could fall at any moment. Before, Xia Zixuan loved his pathetic, pitiful appearance the most, like a puppy craving her affection. But now, she only felt disgusted. "I'm still better. I was always strong and silent, never making others uncomfortable at the wrong time, and never endlessly weak or wronged. Zixuan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you trouble. I just didn't know what else to do. Besides you, I couldn't think of anyone who could help me." Yang Taiwei kept talking. He didn't wait for any comfort from Xia Zixuan. A malicious gleam flashed in his eyes. His voice choked. "That supermarket holds our shared memories. I don't want anything to happen to it. Stay indoors for a while." Xia Zixuan's car stopped downstairs at Yang Taiwei's house. Her eyes were very cold. She looked at him as if he were an unimportant stranger. "Don't contact me anymore." "What?" Yang Taiwei suddenly raised his voice. "Zixuan, what do you mean by this?" "Exactly what it means." Xia Zixuan nodded slightly. She gestured for the driver to drive away. Yang Taiwei gritted his teeth. He blocked the Maserati with his body. His eyes were red. His voice was endlessly mournful. "You can't treat me like this. Our child is about to be born. How can you say no? Contact means no contact." It was clearly Xia Zixuan who once whispered in his ear that she would never leave. It was Xia Zixuan who said she loved him. But now Xia Zixuan was abandoning him so easily. So what did all his efforts count for? "What did you say?" Xia Zixuan's eyes suddenly darkened. She got out of the car in 3 strides. She grabbed Yang Taiwei's neck tightly with one hand. "Say it again. Whose child is about to be born?" Oh, of course it's ours. I defrosted the eggs you stored." Yang Taiwei gripped Xia Zixuan's wrist tightly. Each word seemed to be forced out from deep within his throat. Xia Zixuan's eyes contracted. The aura around her became even darker and colder, as if she wanted to devour Yang Taiwei whole. Yang Taiwei felt, for the first time, such intense murderous intent from Xia Zixuan. He couldn't help but tremble. Lack of oxygen made his cheeks flush red. He struggled to squeeze out a sound. "Zixuan, let me go. I can't breathe." Xia Zixuan seemed not to hear his pleas. She just stared coldly at him, until Yang Taiwei's face turned blue. She finally let go of him. Yang Taiwei immediately clutched his neck, gasping for breath. He could feel that Xia Zixuan had truly wanted to kill him just now. When did this happen? Xia Zixuan asked coldly. She remembered she did store an egg. That was something she had prepared for me. I wanted to be dink double income, no kids. She respected my choice, but also made preparations for me to change my mind at any time. To retrieve that egg, it required her signature and fingerprint. How did Yang Taiwei do it? When we were in Iceland, Zixuan, you drank too much. I said I liked children, and you signed and fingerprinted the document. Yang Taiwei cautiously looked at her. His cheeks were flushed, unclear if from shame or nervousness. Xia Zixuan pondered for a moment. Her eyes were profound, surging with deep waves that Yang Taiwei couldn't understand. Finally, she let Yang Taiwei lead the way. She wanted to see for herself that child who was about to be born. I, who was celebrating the new progress of the project, also noticed the fervor in the bullet comments. It's finally here after waiting so long. This is the captivity plot I've been looking forward to. The female lead's feelings for Yang Taiwei are intensely escalating at this moment. Their abusive love story is becoming even deeper. It's just a pity for that baby. I remember that baby probably won't be kept. What's the big deal? As long as it can advance the plot, an unborn baby dying is just a dying baby. Don't you guys forget later the female lead and male lead will have 8 children in one birth, 8 at once? I almost burst out laughing. I didn't expect Yang Taiwei and Xia Zixuan to have so many children and blessings. As a scientific researcher, I am too aware of the impact of childbirth on a woman's body. Even if it's surrogacy, the one enduring the pain and risks is still the woman. Giving birth to one child is like walking at the gates of hell, let alone 8. I didn't feel any sympathy for Xia Zixuan. Xia Zixuan and Yang Taiwei, in my eyes, would forever be unforgivable. But considering the timing, the divorce lawyer I entrusted must have prepared Xia Zixuan's surprise gift, and it should be arriving soon. I hope Xia Zixuan likes it. Ever since Yang Taiwei brought the surrogate mother to live in Xia Zixuan's villa, he had naturally begun to consider himself the master of the house. All his needs were meticulously cared for by the servants. He enjoyed the best treatment. Ever since Xia Zixuan learned that he found a surrogate mother, she had been angry once. Then she said nothing more. Instead, she arranged for a family doctor and nutritionist to take good care of the surrogate mother and Yang Taiwei. After 2 months, Yang Taiwei in the villa was like a fish in water. He almost became half of the master here. Zixuan Yang Taiwei knocked on the office door. He looked at Xia Zixuan, who was working, with dreamy eyes. Her beauty was breathtaking. The baby is already over 8 months old. At the weekly meeting, only I would directly call her Xia Zixuan. I once said, I like to call her by her full name, because it made me feel like the entirety of Xia Zixuan belonged to me. But now, looking at this document, Xia Zixuan's fingers trembled, hovering over the screen, not daring to click. Zixuan. Yang Taiwei's joyful voice cut through Xia Zixuan's thoughts. Her hand trembled, and the document immediately opened. The moment she saw the content clearly, Xia Zixuan's pupils suddenly constricted. These were all the messages I had received. Ambiguous photos of her and Yang Taiwei, all sorts of details in videos, surrogacy information, and provocations. So, I knew from the very beginning about her and Yang Taiwei. But I said nothing. I just silently watched her cover up, lie. My love for her disappeared sooner than she thought. Zixuan, what are you looking at? Yang Taiwei couldn't wait for Xia Zixuan's answer and enchantingly stepped forward. I'm talking to you. You should have warned me that whatever I wanted, it was fine, but I shouldn't let that betrayer know. Xia Zixuan's voice was strangely calm, but it sent shivers down Yang Taiwei's entire body. Of course I remember. My place in Zixuan's heart is irreplaceable. I know. Besides, Zixuan, I love you so much, how could I not listen to you? Yang Taiwei gritted his teeth and said, Impossible. If I truly wanted to tell Xia Zixuan, how could I have waited until now to send it out? Xia Zixuan's hand clenched her phone, veins bulging, her face dark, her expression gloomy, terrifyingly chilling. Yang Taiwei, you brought all this upon yourself. How dare you provoke me? Do you have a death wish? Xia Zixuan directly ordered Yang Taiwei's imprisonment. As for the child, she would let it be born smoothly. This was her child and mine. At first, Yang Taiwei was still screaming and crying in the room, wanting to leave, wanting Xia Zixuan to release him. But gradually, Yang Taiwei stopped crying. Xia Zixuan visited the baby every day, her eyes full of tenderness, but she never met Yang Taiwei again. At this time, the research I participated in finally achieved great success. As a key figure in the project plan, my contribution was undeniable. This project was initially expected to take 3 years to yield results, but with my participation, it only took 1/3 of the time to achieve results. I was surrounded by cheering colleagues, and the bullet comments were also happy for me. The plot has changed again. That baby is still alive and well. The female lead truly pities Yang Taiwei, completely unable to punish him severely. Just imprisoning him, not letting him near the child. So is happiness just about keeping the baby? I shook my head. Someone else joined us. Shingan, because of your outstanding contributions, the superiors have decided to let you represent and publicly introduce our research achievements. Is that all right? I only did what was my duty. Many seniors have contributed more. Logically speaking, they should be the ones on stage. I subconsciously refused. The long and dry life of scientific research, only those who can endure loneliness can repeat it day after day, accepting failure again and again. Precisely for this reason, I deeply understood that I wasn't particularly brilliant. Your image is the best, your contribution the greatest. No matter how you look at it, it's only natural for you to go. My colleague persisted. Besides, the superiors have already decided. Xinghan, I remember your hometown is nearby. If you have time, attending this press conference would also be convenient to visit home and catch up with friends. I finally agreed. All right then. The research and development of scientific achievements this time has made immense contributions to national security. With this technology, foreign intercontinental ballistic missiles can be effectively intercepted. It's no exaggeration, scientists like us have become the guardian deities of the people. Ever since the government officially announced the news, netizens have been buzzing even more. I heard the main person in charge is a handsome young man with both looks and talent. He's truly a winner in life. I really want to see a picture. Unfortunately, no photos were leaked before the press conference. They say it's to protect personal safety. After all, this is a top national talent. Special protection is only natural. Social media was abuzz. Even Xia Zixuan saw it. She completely failed to associate the mysterious, handsome scientist with me. Aside from work and caring for the child, she spent all her remaining time looking for me. She had been to the orphanage, but received no useful news. She also tried to find my friends, but everyone didn't know where I had gone. They all said everything was normal before I left. No one knew where I had gone. I quietly and resolutely cut off contact between us, silently telling her, let's not meet again. Xia, the press conference will be in 3 days. The schedule has been finalized. The special assistant handed the schedule to Xia Zixuan, then hesitated and said, but the surrogate mother's due date is also in 3 days. Look, let the family doctor be on standby and well attend the press conference, okay? This press conference is an excellent opportunity to cooperate with the government. The Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Defense and Interception System, research and development, is receiving more attention. Not only the Xia Group, but many other enterprises are also waiting for this opportunity to enhance their corporate image in public. All right, sir. Xia Zixuan never expected that she would see the figure she had longed for day and night right at the press conference. The moment I appeared on stage, Xia Zixuan's mind exploded like fireworks. She couldn't help but stand up, wanting to rush forward and throw herself into my arms. The special assistant quickly pulled Xia Zixuan back. Xia, calm down. This is a very important press conference. Any abnormal behavior will be considered espionage and lead to arrest. If Xia Zixuan rushed forward now, she would only be arrested. Xia Zixuan took a deep breath, doing her best to control the surging emotions within her, her eyes fixed intently on the tall figure on stage. After a year apart, my aura had become stronger. My previous short hair had become a neatly cut style. Standing there on stage, my whole body exuded a noble firmness, tall and proud, making it impossible to look away. I was very handsome, Xia Zixuan always knew that. But I was often at home, gradually losing that stunning handsomeness, so well-behaved that it made people lose interest. Now everything seemed to have changed. I was strong, outstanding, every gesture carrying an irresistible charm. Xia Zixuan's chest swelled with an indescribable pride. It was her Xinghan, her husband. I also saw Xia Zixuan sitting below the stage. Long time no see, her eyes were still full of affection and tenderness, gazing at me affectionately from the audience. If it were before, my heart would beat faster because of it, feeling happy and fulfilled. But now, only indifference remained. Xia Zixuan was no longer important. It took me many years to realize this. My future life is my own. My thinking was clear, my professional ability strong. The press conference went extremely smoothly. As I was leaving, I met Xia Zixuan at the hall exit. She had put in no small effort to obtain an opportunity to meet me up close. Xinghan. Xia Zixuan trembled as she called my name. Her eyes were red-rimmed, tears welling up as she stepped forward. My bodyguard immediately stopped her. Mom, please maintain a safe distance. He's my husband, we're legally married. What safe distance? Xia Zixuan furrowed her brows tightly, unhappily glancing at the bodyguard. Xia Zixuan, we're already divorced. I also frowned. After leaving the research institute, I received a message from the divorce lawyer. Because Xia Zixuan did not agree to divorce, the divorce proceedings had to go through litigation. The divorce lawsuit took a full year to complete the entire process, meaning today, I was finally no longer Xia Zixuan's husband. I didn't sign it, the divorce agreement won't be valid. We're still husband and wife. Xia Zixuan was insistent. She pleaded in front of me, her eyes filled with the fear of being abandoned, like a puppy fallen into water, piteously waiting for its owner to take it home. Before, I would have softened because of that, but not anymore. In this woman's heart, the most important thing has always been herself, and what I care about most must also be myself. Let's go. There's still work at the institute, I said softly. The bodyguards immediately obeyed and cleared the way, ignoring Xia Zixuan. A roar of utmost fury. I didn't even glance, and got into the car under the bodyguard's protection. No. Xinghan, don't leave me, please. Watching the car door slowly close, my face gradually obscured. Xia Zixuan's expression slowly turned to despair. The beautiful, cold woman collapsed to the ground, her entire body exuding an air of desolation. Her Xinghan didn't even want to look at her one more time. Xia Zixuan suddenly looked up, rushed to the Maserati, hit the gas, and the entire car blocked mine. She got out of the car, and despite the bodyguard's attempts to stop her, she screamed, "Xinghan, didn't you once say you wanted a child? Now we have a child. Do you really want to abandon me and our child? Are you truly heartless enough to let our child be born without a father?" I frowned, bewildered by Xia Zixuan's thoughts. What does her illegitimate child with Yang Taiwei have to do with me? The bullet comments were also angry. So the female lead wants to snatch Yang Taiwei's child for the supporting male lead? By what right? The male lead just jumped from the window just to visit his newborn child, is now still heavily bleeding in the hospital, still at death's door, yet the baby is about to be taken away. Before, I actually changed my view of the supporting male lead because of his outstanding contributions, but who knew everything he did was to attract the female lead's attention. Sigh, so disappointed. Xinghan, I know you don't want children, you're afraid he'll suffer. Don't worry, I've already had our child surrogated. If you mind, I'll have someone get rid of that baby. Can we have another one? Xia Zixuan said sincerely from outside the car door. I lowered my gaze. Let's go. No need to pay attention to this lunatic. Is that her car? Just ram through it. It'll pay for the damages, I said without hesitation. The Maserati was rammed aside. Xia Zixuan, looking grim, went to the hospital. Zixuan, this is our child. Look at it, how much it resembles you. Yang Taiwei, half dead, rushed to the hospital to see his newborn child. At this moment, still frail in the hospital room, bandaged all over, as soon as he saw Xia Zixuan, he tried to force a smile. Xia Zixuan paid him no mind and carried the baby, intending to leave. Zixuan, where are you taking the baby? Yang Taiwei clung to the handrail, struggling to stand, his eyes filled with worry. Xinghan doesn't like it. Change it for another one, change it for another one. What do you mean, change? Yang Taiwei's face turned pale, bit by bit. He originally thought Xia Zixuan loved him, which was why she let him have a child. Imprisoning him was just a light punishment. As it turned out, this baby was meant to be a gift for me. No, this is his child. It's his guarantee to enter the Xia family. Yang Taiwei secretly discharged himself from the hospital and returned to the Xia family villa. In the villa, his child was carelessly left on the sofa, crying miserably and unnoticed. Yang Taiwei watched, his heart aching. He carefully picked up the baby and went upstairs to find Xia Zixuan to argue. Who knew that as soon as he pushed open the study door, he saw Xia Zixuan holding my photo, gazing at it entranced. Xia Zixuan, Yang Taiwei's eyes almost popped out. He rushed forward, and regardless of everything, he screamed at Xia Zixuan, "We already have a child. Still thinking about that man? He doesn't need you anymore, don't you understand? You trash. Besides me, no one loves you. Shut up." Xia Zixuan slapped Yang Taiwei across the face, her expression grim. "Xinghan will forever love me. He once said that the person he loved most in this life was me," he once said. Xia Zixuan's words abruptly stopped. She suddenly remembered when she married me. I once said, if she ever cheated on me, I wouldn't need her anymore. Unbelievable pain made Xia Zixuan's eyes widen. So back then I wasn't joking, but telling the truth? A person like you will never be satisfied. You'll love anyone you can't have. Dirty trash, you'll never deserve true love in this life. Yang Taiwei sneered. He had understood clearly. Since Xia Zixuan wouldn't leave him in peace, then he couldn't leave Xia Zixuan in peace either. Xia Zixuan drove Yang Taiwei out along with the child I didn't want. But Yang Taiwei didn't give up, bringing the baby to the Xia group to cause trouble, complaining online about his hardships, using public opinion to make Xia Zixuan compromise. Xia Zixuan couldn't take it anymore, and using the excuse of mental illness, she sent Yang Taiwei to a mental hospital. As for that child, it was sent to an orphanage. Xia Zixuan wanted to follow in my footsteps, but after my previous appearance, I once again immersed myself in scientific research, and there was no news of me anymore. Unable to find me, Xia Zixuan resigned from the Xia group. She seemed to have understood many things, and also remembered many things. The places she had promised to go with me but never did. This time she went alone, carrying my photo. Mount Tai Summit. Xia Zixuan stood on the mountain, distracted, looking at the love locks hanging all over the railing. Before, I once said I wanted to come here and hang a love lock, but she refused, citing being busy with Yang Taiwei. As if guided by some force, Xia Zixuan found here a love lock engraved with my name. On it were her name and my name. I don't know when I came, and earnestly prayed while hanging this love lock. Xia Zixuan trembled as she reached out to touch it. The love lock snapped, breaking apart with a click. The lock fell to the ground. Only then did Xia Zixuan see that the inside had long rotted, just like my love. Xinghan, Xia Zixuan went mad. Her memories returned to the time when she and I loved each other the most, and she would boast to everyone she met about her lover, who was lost and no longer existed. This was news I learned from the bullet comments. It's funny to say. Since Yang Taiwei was sent to the mental hospital by Xia Zixuan, these bullet comments no longer praised the so-called abusive love. They went from initial cursing to later compromise, and finally shifted their attention to me. I felt that the bullet commentators had changed. They were no longer preoccupied with matters of love, but paid attention to research. I even received quite a bit of research inspiration from it, accelerating the progress of the new research project. With no love left in my heart, my research went smoothly. I quickly became a new star in the research institute, frequently appearing on major news reports. I was no longer Mr. Zia, spoken of by everyone with affection, who had a good wife, but a betrayer. I finally became myself. The last time I saw Xia Zixuan was outside the press conference hall. The woman who once cared so much about her image was now wearing a ragged dress and would proudly show my photo to anyone she met, boasting, "This is my husband. He's very capable. He's the love of my life." She lost it, and now her eyes are filled with only me. I calmly withdrew my gaze and stepped into the hall. The stage lights and cheers converged. I smirked, my steps unhurried, my aura powerful, striding forward. Standing on stage, the audience below looked at me with enthusiasm, and the bullet comments were also congratulating me. Congratulations on becoming the protagonist of your life. A future as bright as brocade, sparkling starlight. Yes, my future. Be as brilliant as the stars.